I want you to imagine that you're davening Shemona Esrei. And it's a beautiful Shemona Esrei. You're speaking to Hashem right there, literally conversing with the creator of the heavens and earth, and it's phenomenal. And all of a sudden, somewhere along the way, poof, there she is, that image of that woman. Get out of here. And you go right back to Hashem, right back to the throne room, and you're speaking, you get another bracha, and all of a sudden, poof, she's here. Get out of here. And you go back into davening, and poof, she's here. Get out of here. Poof, get out of here. Stop. What is going on? Now, if you're not very sophisticated, maybe you'll say, well, I guess I want and I don't want, right? I don't want this and I do want it, so it must be me. But what happens if you've worked on this? What happened if you've gotten to the point where you're clean for a good while, maybe a few months? You haven't had a thought of an image in your mind, and you're really beyond that. And you recognize that these thoughts are destructive to me. They stop my davening, they stop my learning, they stop me from being happy. They fill me with desires that I don't want. And you recognize that there's something that's so much not part of me, so much that I'm not interested in. So here's the question. Where did she come from? I was happy davening. I didn't want her in front of me. And when she's there, I sort of pulled in after fight. Where did she come from? And it's at that point that you have to recognize that not every thought that I think are things that I wished. Not every thought that I think are things that I will to be, and not every thought that I think is correct. And at that point, you may also realize that there are different forces within you. And there is something called a Satan, there's something called the Yetzer Hara, who is allowed to put thoughts into your brain that you don't want, that you've pushed out, that you've weakened, that you haven't thought about for the longest time, and you have to recognize that there's a force there that's going to put thoughts into your brain, and you have to recognize it's not you. And the reason why it's important to recognize that it's not you is because until you become a bit sophisticated, you'll never win this fight. You have to recognize that you're up against a powerful warrior and trained in deceit. Mr. Sharm describes him, Ish Melchama, Melumad Ba'armemimus, a warrior learned in deceit. And if you ever want to understand yourself, you have to learn to recognize him, to see him when he puts these images in your brain and you get rid of him and he comes back and you get rid of him and come back, and recognize and understand that is the Yetzer Hara, it's not you. You daven, you ask Hashem for help, you do your job. If you do it, Hashem helps, but you have to recognize it's outside of you, not what you want, and only when you're able to do that are you able to distinguish. Are you able to fight the fight in earnest? Because only then can you recognize I'm fighting something outside of me. I don't want this. I want to be pure, holy, and happy. This is something pushed upon me. It's outside of me, and I'm going to ask Hashem to get rid of it. And you work slowly, and day after day, they become weaker and weaker, and eventually Hashem helps. But understanding that it's outside of me is one of the basics to understanding how to win this battle.
Thank you for listening to the Guard Your Eyes Daily Chizuk broadcast. Pass them on to your friends and help spread Kedusha in the world.